You got scammed
Just create his own segment for him.
Have you ever been confronted in public? It's Tuesday, June 8. A couple had an encounter with a racist man and Carouhell is back. This is your daily catch-up. Yeah. So since last week's vaccination drive for students, people aged between 12 to 18, if we're going to be clear about that, more than 20,000 of them have been vaccinated and over 180,000, that's 80% of our teenagers have registered their interest.
Good.
Great numbers. To even break down the numbers even further, 9 in 10 students from the graduating cohort have signed up to be vaccinated. So almost,
you talk up whenever you have to say vaccination.
Right, vaccination is such a hard word to say.
It's not really.
So very, very healthy numbers.
Is this considered very fast?
Super.
Especially if they just, they just started last week. It's
international level is different. Like in Singapore, there's this privilege we have of we don't want the vax or we want to wait and see. But not every country can afford to wait and see. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of them are fighting for it, not knowing whether like they don't understand the science of it. They don't know whether it works or doesn't work. But they just want to get the vaccine because the alternative is to get it and die from it.
Yeah. In other COVID news, the WHO has included the Sinovac vaccine on the list for emergency use.
So Sinovac is part of the choices now, is it?
No, I don't think so. No, right? Basically, what I read in the article is that they have not gotten all the information, all the data points they need yet.
From Sinovac.
From Sinovac, correct. But I think you can still get it, right?
Also, you can still get it at private healthcare institutions. The stock, the doses at MOH will now be made available to private healthcare institutions for free. But the private healthcare institutions are allowed to charge a fee just to cover like manpower costs and things like that.
Yeah, so right, I saw, I actually got a WhatsApp chain message. Yeah. So I opened it, right, and it was basically about how Singapore is scared of like offending Western powers.
That's why we are not adding Sinovac to the vaccination driver.
Yeah.
But Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca is...
They're Western also.
Also on the list.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. They're also available for emergency use, but not available in our vaccination drive.
Right.
I really don't know what people get out of creating a chain message.
Yeah.
I guess there's a small kick lah, right? To see whether you get it back.
Yeah.
You
the viral master of
correct, you send it, then when you get it back, proof of success. Then the next time you meet your copy friends, you're like, hey, do you all get this message? Then you think, you imagine how such a...
It's from me.
So it's on the WHO list of emergency use vaccines, which is abided by countries that cannot acquire enough or cannot even acquire the more developed or the more recommended vaccines. So we have the
luxury of choice in a sense.
Yeah, it was those that couldn't procure the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine.
Wait, so my mom was actually told by doctors to like not take Pfizer and Moderna, maybe wait for Sinovac, right? So does this mean she can take or cannot take?
Right.
Okay.
Then she should go and check because MOH updated the list, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so Ministry of Health has actually cleared mRNA vaccines for those with a history of allergic reactions after careful study of data globally and locally.
Right.
Yeah, but it's via private healthcare institutions. The police are investigating an incident. And I'm sure many of you would have watched the video already. There was racist remarks made to an interracial couple by a very racist man. So racism is quite a touchy subject. I know many of you are thinking, why are 4 Chinese people talking about it? But it wasn't a right thing, and it's definitely not a right thing for us to ignore it.
You know what I'm surprised about? Like, the guy so readily admitted that I'm a racist. And then he said, like, and his argument was that, you are racist because you are not proud of dating your own race.
You look at the George Floyd thing, right? When they came out with Black Lives Matters, and then there's a community of people that says all life matters, and then people come out and say, hey, that's not the point. Yes, all life matters. That's like
we know, but that's not what the movement is
but that's not what this movement is.
Yeah.
The movement is that this is a group of people that have been subjected to prejudice, slavery, housed in parts of the city that is trying to trap them and keep them inside those containment zones. Yeah, this movement is about.
So don't steal their spotlight.
Don't shove your thing inside lah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, like, I think she mentioned also, like, you want to share about like your response when it came to the whole Black Lives Matter movement.
Right, okay. So actually I feel like that was kind of the moment where I kind of recognized my privilege and like start to like unlearn like racism that had built up from small stuff that my parents would say when I was younger, or like my friends would make jokes and then no one would stand up for like the minority race and all that. So Like I feel like I kept seeing people like posting stuff like saying, oh, your silence is complicit. If you are not like posting long ass messages or reposting stuff, then you are racist, you are part of the problem. But to me, like it just kind of sounded like, okay, I repost this story, but I don't understand like any part of it. Like to me, it felt like you never get into this school, but that's just because you never work hard enough. Then how is that my privilege or whatever? But clearly I have been educated. So end up I feel like thankfully I had a close friend that was willing to have the conversation with me and like be patient, like to not like get angry at me when I ask her such stuff. So when I asked her about her experience, like growing up as an Indian in Singapore and all that, then she was able to share with me like what are the kind of stuff that she go through, like when she was younger, right? People call her terrorist. Like people
my lord,
make fun of her name and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, to me, like I never had to face any of that growing up. And I felt like that's where, like in my personal growth, right, that's where I kind of like could contribute to the movement in like so-called getting rid of racism lah, because rather than like having at least one person like myself, right, like grow in that sense, like versus just posting something and then not doing anything about it.
So like there were multiple incidents that throughout my life, right, that really like wake me up a bit. And it's those conversations with my friends that show me where I was being racist. So it's kind of like unlearning the racism that you were kind of like brought up with, I guess.
I feel like many of this comes in a form, once the Chinese guy speaking, right? Like, so I mean, maybe I don't know anything, right? But I think many of this comes in a form of like taught racism also. Like you learned it from your parents. That is not perhaps outright racist, but are disguising racism, not because they want to disguise it, right? As advice and wisdom, just to keep you safe, keep you alive. So what I see, for example, is that Singaporeans, like Singaporean Chinese in Singapore, which is a privileged bunch because number one is majority. Number two is that access to jobs, we have it better as well. And because of that, it's very easy for Singaporean Chinese to see that narrative of actually Singapore is really about meritocracy. We really work harder, we really get better. What? Like don't tell me I studied the same PSL paper as you are, but I really did better, so why shouldn't I get the better job? And you take all that privilege and superiorness, right? You go to another country where you are not the majority, right? And then all that counts for nothing. You get spat on. You know, people punch you in the face on the street for no reason. I think seeing, like with like what you said, the George Floyd thing, right? And then you seeing, and even COVID-19, where when you see Chinese all around the world that's not living in places where they are the majority, gets bullied and shit on, then that to me was a very strong wake-up call. Right. Or what you think was actually meritocracy in Singapore, you bring all your meritocracy, put inside your backside and you go to another country, right? No meritocracy already. You are minority. And sometimes meritocracy don't work if you are minority.
Yeah. And I think like nowadays also, I still see like people of the older generation sometimes making certain racist remarks or whatever, but not consciously lah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And somebody that I interviewed previously for a project, right? It was a mom and a daughter, and she was actually sharing about how her daughter was the person that taught her that she's racist. Yeah, which was damn sweet. It was damn sweet. And it really and showed me something, and showed me that like your children can also, you as a child can also teach your parents something. Yeah.
I think a lot of people always question like, do you have to be part of that community in order to talk about issues for that community? And I feel like if you look historically, unfortunately, that is just the way that in order for you to affect change, there needs to be allies within that majority group, whether it was civil rights in the US, whether it was to get women voting rights in America and things like that. There needed to be people in the majority race talking about it, because that's equally as important. As long as we don't take the limelight away or the spotlight away from minority voices. It was unfortunate that the couple had to go through that. Hopefully, seeing it on the news, seeing that police are investigating these things on the newspaper will help older generations know that this wasn't the right thing to do. And hopefully that starts a conversation so that maybe they can ask their kids, why was this wrong? You know, or maybe it's a chance for kids to start that conversation with their parents as well.
Okay, but sorry, just to bring it back to this incident, right?
Sure.
Can I just say, right, I'm damn impressed with the guy. Like, the guy, the Dave, is that his name?
The guy that...
Yeah, Dave.
The
guy that
the couple.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If I cannot confronted on the street, right, randomly by some uncle, right, I don't know what to do with it. Like, I will freeze up.
My first instinct won't be take out camera.
Yeah, he had the composure to like,
correct.
Start recording.
And let's have a conversation here. Like, you want to talk, right? Let's talk, you know? Like,
but you also can tell that the guy he wants to engage him, but he was also so thrown off, like, oh my god, how can you still be talking like that today?
Yeah. If it was me, right, usually if it's a situation like that, right, I will freeze in the moment. then I'll be very heated and like, you know, you like...
Then you start shouting vulgarities that don't make sense.
Adrenaline, is it? Adrenaline, right? But then you like frozen, right? Then like over the course of the next 5 days to
then you start thinking what you should have said.
That would have been a sick line, you know.
Oh, your perfect.
I should say that, damn it, so smooth. But at that point, like,
you start war playing, then he say this, then I say this.
You then
Meanwhile, the guy don't even know you anymore. He forget about you.
Damn sad. He knew his friends already.
I have 1 million these things in my head.
In other news, Carousell has suspended a keyboard warrior who made rude remarks towards a buyer on the platform. So he basically scolded his mom. Do you all see
that dude!
Yeah.
Oh, good on you, Carousell.
He said that he f***ed his mom last night or some shit like that.
But then the guy went to confront him, no man?
So after that, the buyer created another account, like a fake account, to meet the guy and then confronted him with a video. And then the guy...
I'm torn about this. I'm not sure whether what he did was right. So.
As in, was he doxing the guy though? I feel like my maximum, right, is just I send him to the wrong address. I pretend I want to buy something to the wrong address, but that's my maximum.
But there's so little satisfaction in that.
See it happen.
But that's so mean. Why would you want to do that?
Send the person to the wrong address.
Send the person to the wrong address is like kind of inconvenience him, but it's not like blowing it up such that everyone's doxing him on the internet.
What if he got no legs? You're the mean one.
I cannot talk to you. I cannot talk to you from this point on.
If you are a young kid and you are trying to like play like fluff your feathers online or something, right? You should kena.
So it's good that he learned his
You
lesson,
must walk the talk.
Yeah, it's a shitty thing, but I think once in a while this kind of things need to happen.
It serves
to
as a
remind
deterrent.
everybody.
Yeah, it should be a deterrent because Carouhell experiences do exist.
How to not get punched in the face. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one updates that book. But once in a while, some do update that book, how not to get punched in the face. My experience with Carousell was amazing.
Really?
I first time used Carousell last week.
Huh?
Okay lah, that's why it's amazing lah.
Carousell is amazing
No, it is.
Yeah, I freaking love Carousell. I'm on Carousell like almost every day.
Wow.
I've used it a fair bit of time, but I kena one where I was selling something.
You got scammed
You all here first, then you all decide.
Just create his own segment for him.
You don't need to know these details. He basically agreed a time and date and a price. The night before we were supposed to meet, so he said like this MRT station 1 PM. I said okay. It was near my house, so I walked. It was a half an hour walk lah. So I walk in the scorching sun. I'm sweating balls. I'm like wet already, right? And then I'm just waiting there. And then I started texting him like, hey dude, I'm wearing this and that. Waiting near the MRT controller. You should always go out of the MRT. Don't do the over railing thing. And so I was there already. 1 PM sharp. I texted him and I said, hey dude, where you at?
Yeah.
And then I text again 5 minutes later, and I text again 10 minutes later, and by 15 minutes, I was still there hopeful that this guy is a good person. He just ghosted me. So, yeah.
That's okay, you didn't get scammed lah.
No, but I wrote really rude remarks and I had to walk for half an hour in the scorching sun.
Right.
But then did he reply to your scolding though?
Not at all.
To be honest, right, when I listed a second handphone that I wanted to sell, right, then people text me their offers, right? I reply them 4 days later because I didn't get a notification.
No, but
So what I should have done is gotten his handphone number.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. But you know what the worst part also? So I remember very clearly he said this MRT station 1 PM. Then after I went there, right, he deleted that message. So I cannot screenshot. I cannot screenshot and say that the time and day has been set already.
It's Denise! He sent you to a wrong location and ghost you!
Oh my god, what did I do to you?
Actually, I want to ask you all got any tips and tricks, right, to like get discount on Carousell? Like you talk to people, they try to like
lowball
bring the price down.
I cannot
not
something
lowball
damn sad
not lowball
recently.
but bring down the price.
The guy listed something for $160. I asked him 140 can. Then I say there's this other seller that is listing it for a lower price with warranty.
Buy from the guy.
Yeah, exactly. He said.
That's what I would say.
I was going to say yes until you mentioned the other seller. I was like, how do you? Why? What's the situation here? I completely don't understand. Then I just tell him, okay, thanks.
No, but why don't you just buy from that guy?
Yeah. Then you ask that guy for the $15 discount.
They would be even cheaper.
No, but he was selling it more expensive than the warranty guy. So I asked him, why not sell me cheaper because the other one got
Correct, no, why didn't you buy
Yeah, why don't you buy the
I
warranty
felt
one?
like I didn't need the warranty.
But
then
you
if
ask the
his price
warranty
really
guy
lower,
to be cheaper, then it would have been even
No, the
cheaper.
warranty guy is already cheaper, what?
Yeah, but you can ask him for even cheaper, then it would be even cheaper than the original
Yeah,
guy.
I wanted an even cheaper.
So then she can go back to the warranty guy and say, hey, this guy is selling me for this price.
okay, my trick, right, is I always like, the moment I want something, right, is like on the spot. Can I meet you today? Like fast game. Then like fast game, right, can cheaper? Yeah. Then usually can slash off like $50, $30.
Actually, that's true. Like as a frequent seller on Carousell, I have been more inclined to say yes to like $10 discounts if someone say I come over to your house now, fast deal.
No, but coming over to your house is a different thing. Like you're saving transport, right?
But no, I can also walk to the MRT station.
But the last time.
But the last time I've been burned. I've been burned before.
Actually, I got a bargaining story, quite funny. So right, I was in Bali, okay? And you know when you're in Bali, you need to buy the Bali singlet, right?
The bintang beer one
the bintang beer one. So I go there, then I just randomly walk into this shop along the street, right? Then I look around all the t-shirt. You know, it's the typical tourist strap lah. So I see the singlet, then I ask her how much. Then she say, I don't know how many baht or what lah, but it's like basically
a lot
of
baht.
They do use baht.
But basically it's like $4 So it's already that cheap for singlet, right? Then I go and bargain. I said no lah, half. Then I bargain until like she died there to give me half ma. Then like which is $2 lah. Then I walk away. Then I cross the street, she screamed at me, like angry. Okay, I come back here. $2. Then I walk back. I so paiseh. Then I walk back. Then someone I paying for fun, right? You know.
Then you give $4.
No, $2. I walk back. Then she look at me angrily, shove the thing to the plastic bag, give to me. Then I take out the money, pay her. Then I walk away. Then awkward, yeah.
You all got hear about the plastic bag technique?
What's the plastic bag technique?
So apparently, like all the shops, right, in a particular place like Bali or Phuket, right, they all packed up together. So they will give a particular color of plastic bag if they know that this person don't know how to bargain, right? So like they'll give you a black plastic bag so that the other shops will see, right, oh, this guy got black plastic bag, okay, he don't know how to bargain, and then they'll purposely like charge very high.
That's why we should bring our own bags, kids.
Apparently. So to round this all up, be a bit more aware when someone's trying to scam you, and this is coming from me, okay?
Ask yourself, what would Dan do? And then don't do it.
And if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So don't get scammed, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Wear mask.